Talks started today about what to do with the remains found in an old cemetery in Fort Bend County.
The Fort Bend ISD School Board and Superintendent met with community leaders for the first time, and members of the National Black United Front say they still have more questions, including how the remains will be memorialized. The remains are believed to be former slaves and prisoners forced to work on plantations and railroads back in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Community leaders wanted them identified and properly buried, but it's unclear who will be paying for all of this.
They'll just be ideas because of finances. The question was, you know, he told us what money they've already spent. Right? I think he said $1 million, and what they were not going to spend, talking about the board. And we said very clearly, money shouldn't be a question.
Fort Bend ISD not commenting specifically on today's meeting, but says it is committed to identifying, honoring, and preserving the human remains with dignity.